Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light. Welcome to Mission Evolution Radio Show with Gwilda Wiyaka, bringing together today's leading experts to uncover ever-deepening spiritual truths and the latest scientific developments in support of the evolution of humankind. For more information on Mission Evolution Radio with Gwilda Wiyaka, visit www.missionevolution.org. And now, here's the host of Mission Evolution, Miss Gwilda Wiyaka.
Hello, dear friends, and welcome to another episode of Mission Evolution Radio Show, where we share innovative thoughts and explore deepening truth in support of the path to unity and enlightenment. I am Gwilda Wiyaka. This hour we'll be looking at autism, ADHD, and spirituality. What are sensitive children telling us? Some sources say children with autism and ADHD are on the rise, while others believe the number of people diagnosed has increased dramatically since the 1960s, at least partially due to the changes in diagnostic practice. In the developed countries, the number of children diagnosed with autism more than doubled between 2000 and 2017. Purported causes of autism range from risk factors during pregnancy, such as rubella, toxins, alcohol, cocaine, pesticides, and air pollution, to postpartum influences, such as vaccines. Treatments vary from speech therapy or behavioral interventions to antidepressants and Ritalin. Yet in all our study of ADHD and autism, the spiritual or energetic component has been virtually ignored. Why this rise in hypersensitive children? What can we learn about energy and spirituality from them? How can a better understanding of the spiritual or energetic components involved help us appreciate and support them? With us this hour to explore this controversial topic is Cress Spicer, Reiki Master, teacher, certified Bodytalk Practitioner, and certified Bodytalk Access Trainer. Her training with children includes an N.N.E.B Nursery Nursing Diploma. Her website, infinitebodytalk.org. Cress, thanks for joining us on Mission Evolution.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What is an N.N.E.B Nursery Nursing Diploma?
So basically, I studied. When I finished my O-levels in England, I went to college and studied nursery nursing, like in-depth development of children from babies through to 7 years old, including special needs as well. And so that allowed me to work in the school board, and, you know, I really enjoyed learning about it because it was very in-depth.
How long of a study is it? Was it how
two
many year
year
degree?
2
2 year degree?
years.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
tell us about your experience working with learning delays in autism and ADHD.
Oh, well, it's been a lifelong passion for me. Basically, after I studied the N.N.E.B, it allowed me to work in school boards as a student support worker, which has been it's been over 25 years I've had experience working in different school boards as a student support worker. So I've been hands-on in the classroom, supporting children with autism, supporting children with learning delays, supporting children with ADHD, autism, a whole bunch of different things. So it's allowed me not only to support them on an academic level in the classroom as a student support worker, but also to connect with them and learn about them on an energetic level, because I think this has been a big area that is really misunderstood. And I think when I've talked to different school boards about it, people have observed children in my company, and he's like, they seem to mellow out, and he's like, they can't understand why. And I said, because it's an energy thing. Children are energetic beings, and they're picking up on our energy all the time. So
Yes,
if
and
you're,
we're going to
yeah,
get into that much deeper
yeah,
through this
yeah.
interview, because that's my main point of interest here. But would you mind telling me, during the time that you have been working in the classroom, that's been quite a few years, have you
Mhm.
noticed an increase in the
Oh,
incidence of children with ADD, ADHD?
oh, every other child has it. It's sad, but I mean, it's like they, like even like in the last couple of years, it's like in every classroom there's at least 3 or 4 children with autism, and at least half of the class has got ADHD. So, I mean, it's just been in the last couple of years exponential, the amount of children I've noticed with that. Yeah. And the
Yeah,
school boards aren't equipped to deal with it either, right? They're going the old way of like, you got to sit down and do this and do that. And it doesn't work anymore.
it seems to be failing our children across the board, whether they have learning disabilities or not.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
totally.
So a little different topic here. What
Hmm.
is body talk?
Bodytalk is a combination of osteopathic, chiropractic, Vedic, Chinese medicine, and Western medicine principles all mixed together. And it's created by John Veltheim. And the belief is that your body has an innate ability to heal itself. And then by connecting to your body's innate wisdom using muscle testing, I'm able to ask your body and find out what the priority is at that present moment in time, and it's able to release the issues that are going on. So Body Talk's great for working at everything like epigenetic levels. I work with quite a few kiddies with autism and ADHD,
Well,
like trauma.
I'm gonna have to back you up a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
uh, for those of us that don't know, what
Mhm.
is epigenetic?
Okay, so epigenetic is working at the family lines. Like we can inherit traits, we can inherit emotional states like depression or anxiety. Sometimes we can have like anger traits or grief traits coming down the family lines that we actually express, and it's not always our thing, it's coming down the family line. And then also epigenetic could mean like experiences going down the family line, maybe some trauma, maybe the families were in wars years and years ago, and it's coming down now into this generation, and it's affecting them like on the emotional level. Could be anxiety, depression, sadness, or extreme anger or extreme emotions and
So,
things
so
like
this
that.
is actually carried through the genetic line, like through the
Yeah,
DNA.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then the other question I had is, would you mind telling us what muscle testing is? You use
yeah,
it
sure,
diagnostically. What is it?
sure. So basically, when I'm using muscle testing, I'm using my arm or the client's arm, and I'm asking yes or no to find out questions all the time. So I'm always asking the client's body, what is the priority? Is this a priority? Yes or no? And then
How do you use the
I,
arm?
how do I use the arm? Because it's a very subtle, like I feel it in the muscle. That yes means the muscles of the arm are soft, and no means the muscles of the arm are rigid. So that yes is yes. It's like, okay, yes, I could go ahead with that. No. And it's a firm no. I could feel it in the muscles. They contract to say no.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is Reiki?
So Reiki, I've been doing Reiki for like 29 years, um, since 1994. So Reiki is like the connect is so Reiki is connecting to the universal life force energy, like Qi is in Chinese, Reiki is in Japanese. It's a Japanese form of energy healing. And it's a very ancient form of energy healing. So basically, what it is, when you become a Reiki Master or Reiki practitioner, you become attuned through an attunement to receive the Reiki energy. And that's like opening you up to receive more divine love and light and connecting to the universal levels of light. And then bringing that through, and it grounds out into the earth. And then the energy comes out through your hands and your feet. And then as each level you study each level, you learn symbols, which empowers the Reiki energy. And also it sort of works on every level, like physical, emotional, mental, spiritual levels. It opens you up. Like I get all five senses when I'm working with people now, because I see everything and I hear everything, because I've been working with the energy for so long, since 1994.
So where is it coming from? Is it from the
Oh,
earth
it's
itself, or
No, the energy, so basically the Reiki energy is coming from the universal source, the God source, the higher divine wisdom. It's not my energy. It's universe, God source energy. Like I'm connecting to the universal source or God source, whoever it is up there. I'm bringing that energy straight down through me.
have there been any scientific studies done on the effectiveness of Reiki or body talk for that matter?
Yeah, they have actually. They've actually done studies on how effective Reiki is on using for anxiety and things, and ADHD and autism. And yeah, they've actually proven that it has a calming energy, because it's just connecting up to the God energy, right, the universal energy, and you're opening yourself up to receive, and it's like bringing in a very calming and loving energy. And when it comes out of you, you feel very relaxed and calm. And they've actually done studies where on children with autism and ADHD, where they've been able to focus better and feel more relaxed, because sometimes anxiety is a big issue with children on the autism spectrum, and
Is it
worry.
is it as simple as you being able to calm yourself and they pick up their cues from you, or is there more to it than that?
Um, there's several things. I mean, our energy has a major impact on the other people, the children. And if we're in a calm place, then you can actually calm the children down. I mean, there was one time there was a child freaking out, having a meltdown in the classroom. And, I no, you couldn't talk to, because the child was getting quite violent too. So I just stood there and just closed my eyes and just stood about like 3 or 4 feet away, just to hold the space for the child. And the child was nonverbal on top of that. So it was just like, they got to do their thing. But then I just opened myself to the Reiki flow of energy and just sent love out to the child and
Well, we're going
held
to
the
have to leave.
space.
It is time for a commercial break. Chris and I will return shortly, so don't go away. You're listening to the Mission Evolution Radio Show, coming to you on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. It's hard to listen to the news without realizing we're living in volatile, unprecedented times. Yet never has there been such an opportunity to transform the human condition. As old structures fail, where can we find the guidance to co-create a better way? Find Your Path Home is an ever-evolving, leading-edge information, education, and healing resource center designed to support and guide you on your path to unity and enlightenment. Based on sound principles employed by shaman worldwide, we provide techniques that can support you through the current transitions, offering online shamanic classes, international long-distance shamanic healing sessions, complimentary Mission Evolution radio episodes and Stairway to Heaven TV vignettes, seminars, retreats, and much more. All of this can be found on findyourpathhome.com.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
The views, opinions, and conclusions expressed in the following program are those of the host, guests, and/or callers, and not those of Relmar McConnell Media Company, our corporate divisions or entities, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Simul Radio, Simul TV, our staff, management, advertisers, broadcast affiliates, and affiliated broadcast networks.
Welcome back. This is the Mission Evolution Radio Show dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness, missionevolution.org. Our guest this hour is Reiki Master Cress Spicer. Her website, infinitebodytalk.org. Cress, we were talking about the effect that we can have on children that are going through a meltdown simply by being mindful of our own energy and what we're providing. How many times have you seen this effect, and is it been studied?
I don't think it has been studied. I think people are realizing more and more now. Like, I used to have behavior consultants come into the school board and watch me and saying, well, what is it you're doing that's different? And I said, the only thing I'm doing different is that these children are energy. They're picking up on our energy. They're super sensitive to it. And, we can actually affect them far greater with our energy than, every child's very, very sensitive, but we have to be really aware of how we're feeling and how we're doing and not project. If we're having an off day, we need to sort of step out and bring ourselves more into a balanced space. And having the energy component is a really big piece, I feel, that's missing out of the schools and working with children. And, because we're all energy beings, and especially with the energies rising and everything, a lot of children right now are having a lot of issues, like with behavioral issues and meltdowns and not being understood. And a lot of the issues is that, on an energy level, they're picking up on everybody else's and reacting to it and acting out on that.
I can understand this because our survival as a species and a lot of animal survivals depend upon them being able to read what's going on with the pack or the clan and find their safe spot. Is there a predator out there? Somebody else is picking up. You watch that in animals all the time. They communicate, and they have to be communicating through something because they're sure not talking to each other. So I can understand that, but why do you think it's getting so much more intense?
A lot of the children are misunderstood too. I think that a lot of children who are labeled ADHD or autism are, placed in like a label, and just like they need to have ways of being able to express themselves differently. When I work with these children in the school board, I was sometimes communicating with these children telepathically, because to calm them down. And it's like, because Reiki's opened me up to my intuition more and my psychic abilities and things, I can sort of send like a picture. Like, there was one child I was connecting with in the school board, and he'd send me pictures of like yellow triangles and circles, and that was his calming thing for him. And I just like sort of look at his third eye and send that to him, and he'd calm himself down. And so I think that they have alternative means of communication, and a lot of issues around that is that we're not communicating at their level. And they're also very high spiritual beings, a lot of these children too, who are sort of working at a higher level of consciousness.
So not everybody is a Reiki master or
No, I
is
know.
trained in body talk. What can you suggest for teachers and parents? How can we, without that training, be more mindful of our energy and how it affects the children around us?
I think like being mindful of how we're feeling all the time, and meditating helps too. Like mindfulness and meditation are really important for everyone now, I think, to do if you've got children or if you're working with children, because children are getting more and more sensitive, and it's the old ways of dealing with things aren't working anymore. So, I mean, I'm working in a school sometimes, and, I'll go in and I'll teach the children just to listen to the breathing and put some nice music on, even if even if you're not trained in Reiki or anything, just connecting to a higher vibration when you feel like you want to lash out at your child or children. And it's so easy to do that because we're human, right? And we still have those emotions. And I'm aware of that too. When I start to feel like that when I've worked in children in school boards, I'd have to back off and sort of rebalance my energy and come back into the situation again. But I think it's playing nice music and getting into that calm place, or feeling things that feel good for you too. Getting a place and feeling good about things, making yourself feel good is doing activities that feel good.
I've interviewed a couple of people on the show. One particular gentleman, they've started this whole thing where they're replacing detention with meditation and yoga.
That's awesome.
And I guess it is so effective. So this is pretty much what we're looking at, is a different approach, right?
Yeah, totally. Totally it is. Because I've worked a lot with self-regulation in the school boards over the years too. Basically, because, the old ways of doing things aren't working. And sometimes I have to teach children, because a lot of the time too, children with autism, sometimes children with ADHD, learning delays, they're not grounded in their body, and their energy is like way high, and it's great to feel excited, but then you got to sort of learn to ground and regulate yourself. So sometimes I'd have to do like workshops and things with kiddies, and I do that here too, where I teach them how to ground their energy and to come back into the body, and to ground to the earth, because being grounded is really important.
Yeah, that's something we really have taken out of the school systems, and we don't offer it anymore. I mean, it used to be that, children work in the little, the kitchen garden in the back,
Yes.
and, there was a lot more earth connection, and we've gotten away from that. I wonder how much that has to do with this rise in overly sensitive children.
That's a really good point, because I feel that getting back to nature and getting our hands in the dirt, and, also what I've noticed too over the years, specifically in the last 5 years, is more children on the computers, more children have iPhones, more children aren't, they're not connecting to the earth, they're more connected to their computer and other electronics, which I actually feel has an effect for sure.
Yeah. You've worked with both Reiki and Body Talk with autistic children.
Yeah.
What prompted you to do so? Were you already in nursing, and how'd you make that jump?
It's just a passion of mine. I love children, and I love working, I work with adults too, but I just have a very special connection with these children. And I've learned a lot from working with autistic children and children with ADHD and things. And it's been a real gift being able to experience their energy and everything. So from that, I wanted to sort of learn about ways that I could assist them to help themselves, right? Because it's all about them helping themselves. They need that. Sometimes they haven't got the skills to do things, so we need to sort of teach them how to do things.
So are both Reiki and Body Talk something parents can learn and easily employ?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Reiki is especially is, I mean, very easy to learn as well. Like you could do it every day on yourself. And body talk you can learn too. I mean, I use body talk on myself every day, and I sometimes I use it on children I work with too, and it calms them right down. And there was with the body talk, how was it, a couple of years ago, I was at this group session, and this lady came in, and she had just, what was it? Oh, she had a stroke, and she was in her 20s, and she came into the group body talk session sort of like limping basically. And I said, oh, maybe you should be going home. And she goes, no, I wanted to come and be with the group body talk session. So I said, okay, but if you feel like you need to go because of medical, just go home, right? But then I started tapping out her cortices, which is one of the techniques in the body talk system. And like I started on her, and I worked on just tapping out, balancing the brain and balancing the cortices. And within like 5 minutes, she started to sit up, and she said that you could see her wakening up, and her brain was like waking up, and she started to speak. And after about 20 minutes, she actually got up with no issues. And like it just completely balanced her brain back into synchronization, just using the cortices, which is a very powerful technique.
That's
Body
great.
talk. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Some of us may not even know this. What is the difference between ADHD and autism?
Autism is more of it's like a developmental. It's more of a developmental disorder. It's just like they have different, the way I see it, right, it's just all different ways of processing. These children have ADHD and autism. Like sometimes children with autism aren't able to, they often have problems at communicating or expressing their emotions, or being able to self-regulate themselves, because they haven't got that learning inside of themselves. But it can be taught. I mean, you do need to have a lot of intervention. And then the ADHD is often more of a focus issue, where they aren't able to, they have attention deficits, so they're able to sit for a few minutes and then, they're off task, which is also, it's a way their brain processes too. Right? But these are all gifts, I mean, if you can use them at an energetic level.
Yeah, so they're just really wired differently, aren't they?
Exactly what it is, right? Yeah. I mean,
we're going to have to take a break and pick up on our different wiring on the other side. Chris and I will return to our discussion on the other side of this commercial break, so you stay right there. This is the Mission Evolution Radio Show. We're coming to you on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Don't go away.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by N.N.E.B Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Welcome back. This is the Mission Evolution Radio Show, missionevolution.org, bringing leading-edge information supporting the path to enlightenment. We're speaking with certified Bodytalk practitioner Cress Spicer, her website, infinitebodytalk.org. Cress, we were talking about the difference between ADD and ADHD and autism. The rise in incidences of ADHD and autism, is that indication that children are actually developing more sensitivity to subtle energies?
Yes, they are. Yeah. In general, I mean, I've seen a lot of increase in children, just everyone, in their sensitivities to energy and things. So, yeah.
What do you think is causing this? I mean, at this time in history?
Could be definitely the raising of the frequencies of the energy of the planet's having an effect. And, sometimes it could be, I don't know. It's just like there is a big awakening. And I feel that these children are here, though, to awaken us. They're functioning at a very high level of spirituality. A lot of the autistic kiddies and also the ADHD kiddies too, because it's like on a conscious level, they're very aware and psychic and awake, and they get bored easily too. So that's another problem that I see with a lot of these kiddies too. Like a lot of issues come out with that.
Well, I understand many autistic children have trouble with traditional communication.
Yeah.
Do you find the children with autism to be more telepathic? And you started touching in on that. How do they communicate differently?
I found both ADHD children and autistic children to be quite telepathic, but actually I've had more telepathic experiences with children on the autism spectrum, especially children who I've had a connection with. And it seems like they seem to be, what I found with their connections being very different is that they're coming from a very unconditional love, in fact, because I think that's misunderstood, because sometimes people think, oh gosh, they're autistic and they aren't able to communicate on a verbal level, but on an energetic level, when I tune into them, when I'm working with them, they're very unconditional loving, very caring. They don't have the means of the words to express and communicate how they're feeling. And I think that creates a lot of issues for a lot of people. But also a lot of them have a psychic ability and a connection to spirituality, which is amazing. Like one child I worked with years ago, and he had autism and Tourette's, and he was like 14 years old. And I was volunteering in the in some women's hospital with his mum was sick, and he wanted to help out, and this kitty was just amazing. He wanted to help out giving his mum Reiki treatment, and he could see the energy, and he's saying to me, like, I could see the blue and silver energy coming out your hands, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was just beautiful. Like, it was such a gift to be able to work with his mother as he was working with his mother at the same time too, and he said how much he loved her, and he was crying his eyes. And it was just really touching that these beings who, and he has severe behaviors and everything, right, and he was totally misunderstood in Tourette's, and but on an energy level it was just like he was totally aware and totally awake and very loving, and yeah, it was just a gift.
What can we learn about developing telepathy from these children?
It's to be open-minded with and to not have to feel, because what I've felt is that when I've gone into situations or with kiddies who aren't able to communicate on a verbal level, often they feel guarded because they're being judged because they're not communicating the typical way, right, of the verbal communication. But the non-verbal communication is equally as, important. And just what I found is that being able to open to them and allowing to connect with them on the loving level of the heart and gaining their trust can really help to open up and connect with them on a telepathic level.
How much do you think that's also being able to watch their body language and how they're moving?
Yeah.
Could you speak to that a little bit? How do you work with that?
Yeah, because that's exactly a lot of it is too, that you're able to read the energy. That's what I found over the years working with these children, is that you get to know, you could sort of read their energy and how they're feeling before something happens. And the ultimate thing is, I mean, it doesn't always happen that way, is to be able to read their energy and sort of not get them into that place where they'd have the meltdown, but be able to go and sort of comfort them energetically and just give them some time to themselves or whatever they need, and be able to read, like, oh gosh, I can see that they're feeling this right now, a bit tense or anxious or agitated, and just sort of, and I've done that too, like I've been able to sit there and like if something happened to a child, a teacher walked in, it's like the child all of a sudden like completely contracted and went, oh, and like I'm like, and then the child, sometimes it's nice not to have to use words, because it's like on an energy level I connect to the heart. It's like, it's okay, I just send them peace, and then I just say it's okay, and then just like smile at them and not even say anything, and I could feel them completely like melt and just relax again, so they wouldn't sort of getting them out of that place of like agitation and things, because it's great to be able to read their energy, and then sort of they're able to, it's sort of,
I know our nonverbal friends, like, our dogs and various ones that a lot of us work with very closely, particularly if you're working with service dogs, canine dogs, et cetera, et cetera. They totally communicate with body language and that sort of thing.
Totally.
How can we become more conscious of body language in order to better be present for our gifted children?
Yeah. I think it all starts with our own awareness of how we are feeling. And because if we are able to connect our own awareness of like, right now I'm not feeling happy, or right now I'm feeling, sad, or whatever, it starts with our awareness. And then we can sort of, as we become more aware, we're able to become more aware of how they're feeling.
Does it work in the other direction? Like, we become more aware of how we're feeling, we can also recognize how we're feeling is impacting them?
Yes, it does. It's a two-way thing. Yeah. Because then as you become more aware of your energy and how you're feeling, you're more aware of like, well, if I'm feeling like this right now, it's going to impact that child. Like if I'm feeling grumpy, and that's okay, we're human, right? Or if we're feeling angry or whatever's happening, it's like, okay, it's not okay right now to go in there, because I mean, I've had this happen too, where, it's like you're working with the child and it's just like you're so tired And it's like, oh gosh, I just, and I could feel my energy, just like I got to back off and give myself space because I'm tired. I'm honoring how I'm feeling, and then going back in because it will have a direct impact on that child right now.
Can this feedback loop start between parent and child, or teacher and child, where child gets upset, parent gets upset, child gets more upset, parent gets more upset?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen that a lot. I think any of us that have been parents, you don't have to be working with special gifted children to see that. How can we break up that cycle?
It's that thing of like, and it's a constant learning thing, right? Even for me too. I mean, I'm still human, and even though I practice Reiki and everything, I still have, things happen too. So, but it's just having that awareness of like, it's. I've sometimes when I could feel myself getting into that. One time I was working with a child, and they were just like, it was going, what I call it is like going into that power battle place. That's what I call it. And it was like, I was sort of, I know that I shouldn't have done, but you do sometimes, right? Because if you're tired or having an off day, you can go into that place. And this child years ago was sort of like trying to like goad me to like say this to me, and I'm like, I ignored her, and no, and finally I'm like, I just sort of snapped back, and I'm just like, oh, now I'm getting into this power battle. So I just had to step back and bring somebody else in to sit with that child. Was because then it was like, it was going into this power battle place. So I had to back off and just bring myself back into a calmer place, and more like happier place, and then more in a loving place. And then when I then said to the other person, oh, I'm feeling better now, and then I could go back in and calm the child down, and the child was okay. So it's just like knowing when you go into those power struggle places, because we all do. That's that, it's like energetically, it's like, you did this and you did this, and it's just like being able to back off and like take a couple of deep breaths. I found deep breathing really helps too, like taking a few deep breaths or doing something.
It sounds like it's going to require a lot of introspection, doesn't it? You really need to know yourself.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you do need to know yourself and your reactions and how much you can take, and knowing that, okay, I've hit my place of like, I need to back off right now and give myself a break. And, it's honoring how you're feeling, and it's being able to sort of connect. Yeah, it really is being able to honor how you're feeling and knowing yourself totally. And
well, that's a total different approach for ourselves and for the children then, isn't it? Because what we've been taught growing up is you stuff your feelings, you behave, you follow this particular protocol of behavior, and that isn't honoring ultimately.
No, it isn't. No.
So these kids are having trouble with that, aren't they?
We all are.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, they are having real issues with that. Yeah, because it's like, meant to be acting one way, but it's not working. Yeah.
Well, and it's not honoring either, right?
No, it isn't honoring at all. No,
yeah.
No.
So we end up with a backlog. Well, it's time for another commercial pause. Cress and I will be back shortly, so don't leave us now. This is Mission Evolution Radio Show on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xedbn.net. Stay there. We'll be right back.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
Christopher Fulton is a survivor of the national security state. All he wanted to do was preserve history when he acquired a Cartier watch from the estate of President Kennedy's personal secretary. But that simple act set off a terrible chain reaction. He was pursued by the U.S. Justice Department and the FBI, thrust into the middle of the U.S. government's Assassination Records Review Board, even monitored and pursued by the Russian government. All because that Cartier watch was the missing link of evidence, a timepiece worn by JFK that fateful day in Dallas, a link resulting in Christopher being incarcerated and attacked for 9 years because he opened a hidden chapter in history. The intriguing journey outlined fully in Christopher Fulton's memoir, The Inheritance, is available now through TrineDay.com or Amazon.com. The Inheritance, Poisoned Fruit of JFK's Assassination by Christopher and Michelle Fulton is a must-read, an incredible tale of how easily our own government can overrule justice. The Inheritance, Poisoned Fruit of JFK's Assassination.
Welcome back. This is the Mission Evolution Radio Show, bringing together gifted people of service to the world. Love to get your emails. You can email us at info@missionevolution.org. Our special guest this hour is Cress Spicer. Her website, infinitebodytalk.org. Cress, we were touching in on something earlier that I'd like to get into more. And you mentioned that the frequency on the planet, or the energy on the planet, is raising. Why is that happening at this time?
Well, it seems that it's been predicted over the years that this was going to be happening. It's like we're going into the age of Aquarius, which is a higher level of consciousness, and the planets are all aligning with that too. It's like in the next couple of years, a lot of the planets will be going into an Aquarius, which is the age of Aquarius, which is the age of the higher consciousness. And also, like on the planets, the Earth, the energy in the Earth is also raising up too. So as this happens, everybody is affected on the planet. Even I'm totally being affected by the energies. Like I'm very sensitive to energy, so I feel it all happening, and I have to be aware. I have to ground a lot and go out into nature, and yeah.
So is the increase in ADHD and autism an indication of our deteriorating environment, or signs of evolution?
Could be both. Yeah, it could be both. I've known over the years some children come in to work to see me for body talk sessions who've been infected by environmental effects, such as like vaccines and birth traumas and things like that, or issues that have gone on. And yeah, so I think it can be a combination of that, and also like the higher frequencies that are coming into the planet right now, which is wonderful. I love that this is happening, that we're all shifting up to a higher level of awareness.
Well, I understand that the vaccines and that sort of thing has either been disproved or certainly hasn't been proved. Have you seen any new studies on that?
I haven't actually, no.
No, I haven't either.
No, it's been quiet. Yeah.
So you were talking about how children with ADD and ADHD and autism are impacted by the personal energy of others. Are they also impacted by group energy? Yes,
definitely group energy as well. Yeah. Sometimes children especially with the autism and the ADHD too, they may have sensory overload in their ears. And often what I've noticed is some may have extremely sensitive hearing, and this can really affect them being with large groups of children or large groups of people, because they get overstimulated. And sometimes what I've seen is that when I've worked with kiddies in the school ward, we'll often put a pair of headphones on them so they can actually not get that overstimulation and from their environment, and which may lead to some behaviors and things. But also on top of that, they are picking up on the energy of whatever's happening. Sometimes, when you've got a big group of children in there, and which is great. I mean, it's great to be excited and things, but then sometimes it can go over the edge and they're not able to bring themselves back, and then they may have a few behaviors with that, and
I'm wondering how much it has to do with order and chaos, because I used to do drum circles for Head Start programs, and so I worked with quite a few autistic and ADHD children. What amazed me is I had this great big mother drum that's set up on a stand, and every time I go to different schools or this or that, the little autistic kids would climb underneath the drum. And just like they were absorbing this steady beat, and the teachers would look at them like they were crazy because they were so used to them being sensitive. So I wonder how much it has to do with order and chaos.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Order and chaos. Yeah, because how they can be like that too. Like a lot of them are very specific, very obsessive about things, and some of them like chaos, some of them don't. So, it just depends on the child. Yeah. Wow, that's cool how you do that. And to climb under the drum?
Yeah. It just amazed me. What are you doing under there? I was concerned that it would be too much for them, and instead they were just drawn to it.
That's
So,
awesome.
So how can a family be more conscious of their combined personal energy and its effect on their autistic family member?
What would be ideal is to sort of start the day, if you've got some autistic kiddies and things, would be nice if you could do some sort of like mindfulness or meditation together, and setting the energy for the day that way, like in a loving way or in a calm and peaceful way. And then, that sort of could set the tone for the child.
Well, where we get up and grab a power bar and run out the door and drink our coffee, that's probably not a good way to start.
No, it isn't. No. I mean, I know it's hard sometimes for families and parents to find that time in the morning and things, and to, it's easier said than done. But in the ideal world, it'd be nice if we can all sort of connect and, start the day off in a sort of a calm, energetic place, and then a loving place, especially with the kiddies being so, sensitive nowadays.
What can ADD, ADHD, and autism teach us about spiritual evolution?
It can teach us, like, what I've noticed when I've been with these kiddies is that they have a very deep connection to the spirituality, and connection to energy, and connection to the universe, and connection to unconditional love. I've had some amazing experiences of what, when I've been in the energy of some of the autistic kiddies, just like my heart's just opened up, like, and burned with their energy, their unconditional love, but they weren't able to express how they were feeling. So, it's a real gift I found over the years working with these kiddies, to be able to telepathically, I've learned from them on a telepathic level, on a, learning how to be more sensitive to ourselves too. Like, they've taught me a lot about that, and about our intuition, how we can connect to our intuition, and how to be I've found a lot of unconditional acceptance and love with these kiddies. Just really beautiful children.
I'm glad you brought up this, open heart and unconditional love.
Yeah.
Because our society's really kind of lost that. And I know that when I drop in, open my heart, it's sometimes it's very painful because it's kind of coarse out there because people have lost contact with their heart. How much do you think their natural heart connection is driving them into overload?
Probably a lot, actually. Yeah, because if you're not in your heart, and that's where a lot of the feeling and the awareness comes through too, because if you're always up in the head and in the mental realms, and not in the body and in the heart and the lower chakras, and sort of more in the being place is what I call it, then, it's like you're missing out on a whole lot of things. You're always in that upper doing place, and not in more in the being and allowing the loving spiritual place of the feminine side.
So that if these children are coming in with more heart connection, they're kind of coming in alone in this society, aren't they?
They are. But I think that's part of their mission too, is to open up people more to their open heart, unconditional love, right? and to open people to more unconditional acceptance of themselves and to their connection to universe or God or whoever that is. Yeah.
Do you find that the people get triggered around these children because they are feeling things that other people are avoiding?
Yeah. Some of them, yeah. Yeah, some of them I've seen get triggered for sure. I've seen quite a few, like what I've seen too is sometimes when I've worked in the school and, it's like the other staff have got triggered and then the child gets triggered and then it's just like it's one big triggering, right? So unless you're actually being more aware of yourself, right, and being able to sort of step out of that place and just coming into more of a loving place, then otherwise you're getting more easily triggered.
And then round and round we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cress, what's your vision for the future of children with ADD, ADHD, and autism?
I'd love them to be like accepted as they are and not, because really it's just a different way of seeing things for a lot of these kiddies, right? It's just they have a more open mind, more broad mind. They see things outside of the box. They see things that different perceptions and different ways of being and doing things that, and different ways of communicating, like energetically on all levels, that aren't accepted to us, aren't acceptable. You're meant to get your degree and do schoolwork and do this and do that. And it's like, then this is unusual for people. So it'd be nice if we can actually be able to include them and embrace them and be more open to their blessings. They've got a lot of blessings to give us all.
They do, don't they? Just beautiful things they're bringing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, I personally feel blessed that they're among us, and I thank you so much for opening our eyes to the blessing that these children are bringing.
Thank you.
As always, time has flown, and I'm afraid we're out of it. But Cress, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thank you for.
Our guest this hour has been Cress Spicer, a Reiki Master teacher, certified Bodytalk practitioner, and certified Bodytalk Access Trainer. Her training with children includes N.N.E.B Nursery Nursing Diploma. Her website, infinitebodytalk.org. Remember to join our email family to stay abreast of all the exciting new things we have coming up on missionevolution.org. This has been Mission Evolution Radio Show with Gwilda Wiyaka on the X Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Join us next time as this mission continues, bringing information, resources, and support to an evolving world.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, The 70-Year Cover-Up Exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.